I guess I better put myself in there. That's M3. He's doing the talking today. He's running the show. Um, I'm very sick. I'm a lot sicker than we even thought I was. Um, I didn't do yesterday. Well, I didn't do my Wednesday night show. I did Thursday morning, not very well. And then last night I was rushed to the emergency room where I spent the closest thing to 5 hours in hell that I have ever done. I hope you can hear me. I'm on my laptop and it's not very good. Anyway, after many hours of screaming pain because they would give me nothing, they did run a bunch of tests, and they have determined that what I have is called Bell's palsy. And apparently I have a very serious case of it. It's not something that you're just going to get over in a minute or two. Even people who are relatively healthy who get it, it takes them about 3 months. So it's not looking good here. I have to go get a bunch of more tests done. But in the interim, I was given no pain meds. Well, the ER guy called them in. The pharmacy refused to fill them. They called back. They talked to a different doctor. The different doctor wouldn't let them fill them. So I'm in about 2 hours here going to be screaming my head off again and be right back down there just like I was last night. But Bell's palsy is a nerve disease. In some ways it mimics a stroke. Yes, it does actually make it look like you have had a stroke. That was why I could not believe that these idiots let me sit there for 5 hours and did not even check to see if I was having a stroke. As much as I was screaming and hollering. So anyway, I've got 3 people trying to get me some meds. Now, some people that get it get a mild case of it. Other people, particularly people who have a lot of autoimmune disorders, it is a nightmare. And I am the queen of autoimmune disorders, so I am terrified of what's going to happen with this. I am going to still try to do my auction on my other channel on Sunday because I'm really going to need that money now. After I get done here, I'm going to eat some dinner and I'm going to make a little video about my auction and get that posted. But I don't think I'm doing a show in the morning. If some great miracle happens and I am not in pain, I will, but the only way I can describe the pain I was in last night, it felt like someone had a hacksaw and about every 7 seconds, they were just taking another slice into my brain. I have never experienced such horrible pain in my life, and I have been through multiple major surgeries. Um, right now, what the argument is over on the medication is that my doctor, my regular doctor, has me on a medication for my back, and the emergency room doctor called in the same medication at the same strength, so they won't fill it. If he had called it in at a higher strength or a different number of times per day to take it, then there would have been no problem and they would have filled it. So right now, one of my chronic care nurses is trying to get a hold of my primary care physician on a Friday night to try to at least get me something to get me through the weekend. But Bell's palsy is kind of an ugly disease. I don't know a whole lot about it. I have one friend who has had it. I'm going to call him very shortly. He got over it pretty quick, but he didn't have all the autoimmune disorders and stuff that I do. So, anyway, I just wanted to come on real quick and let everybody know why I wasn't on this morning. I didn't get home from the emergency room until about 4 o'clock. My sister rolled me in. I climbed in my bed and that was it. Since then, my niece has come by and she kind of built me a little nest in here where I can do some work. My eyes are blurring and stuff, and I can't hear very well. But I have a lot of coins that need to be rolled, so she built me a little nest in here with my bed desk and my rollers, and so I'm gonna just watch YouTube, and I've got a little cooler with some beverages in it, and I'm gonna roll these coins up. Probably look through the last of those horrible nickel rolls. Yeah, like they said, some people it will last a couple of months, but others, particularly those who suffer from a lot of autoimmune disorders, it can last years and never go away. So that's kind of a scary thought because I have multiple autoimmune disorders, and truly it's not. I'm going to read you a little about it. It says, when facial nerves swell and become inflamed, it increases the pressure within the fallopian canal. The pressure cuts off blood and oxygen to the nerve cells, leading to some conditions like headaches, ear infections, hypertension, diabetes, tumors, facial and skull fractures. That's how intense it can actually fracture your skull. Not what you want to hear when you go to the doctor, that's for sure. So, says when Bell's palsy occurs following inflammation and swelling resulting from injury or infection, which interferes with the functioning of the facial nerve, there is a lot that remains unknown about the condition. And see, that is what I've been going on for months. It is sometimes associated with chronic diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, multiple sclerosis, Lyme disease, and Guillain-Barré syndrome. The association is not well understood. Don't you just love when you get these diseases and they don't really understand? They know it's a disease. They know what it has a name, but they don't know what to do with it. And when you are one of those people like me that have all of the weird stuff, uh, they really don't know what to do with you. But I don't think the answer is make you lie there and suffer. I can't go with that answer. That answer is just not working for me. So anyway, I just wanted to come on real quick. I hope I still have sound. Usually my sound goes off after about 6 minutes on my laptop. I am going to try and do the auction. Now, this is not a coin auction. There may be some coins in it, but this is actually going to be on my other channel, my jewelry channel. And it's mostly going to be jewelry, home decor, that kind of stuff. Most of it handcrafted by me. And then there may just be some odds and ends that I throw in there because I have to make some money. I'm still working on trying to get that motorhome. I got a message from the young lady, and she's going to be going. She's going to go up to Chicago for 2 weeks, get her job established again, and then come back for a weekend in about 2 weeks. So that gives me 2 more weeks to try to round up the money. And if I can do that, then I can get in the motorhome and get it out on my sister's farm. It's warm enough out there to live out there now. So I can get it out there and work on the interior. It doesn't need mechanical work, it just needs interior work. So, but it would get me out of from under a bunch of these bills, because I got a feeling that some of this stuff I'm gonna have to be paying for out of my pocket, that my insurance is not gonna cover it. So we'll just have to see, but that way I can go detecting where I want to. I can go up to Michigan, where my health care was way better. I can go to Florida in the winter. And it was actually cheaper for me to. I live where I. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, I'm gonna take it real easy. Except I do need to try and do my auction. Some of the stuff's pretty cool. I think you'll like it. I have a number of uh, my coin people that actually buy a lot of jewelry from me because they like my designs. So, especially if you happen to have pets, I have a whole line of cats and dogs and horses and stuff like that. So, and then I have vintage sheet music I have a lot of music related jewelry. Uh, anyway, let me find my link to my channel here, and then I'm going to go, because I can't talk very long. I'm really, really tired. Let me see here. I hope it didn't change the link. Yeah, there we go. That link should take you to the channel where I will be having my auction. I don't have a lot of subscribers on there, so it'd be nice if you wanted to subscribe over there too. I may have some coin things in there. I don't know yet. I just know that I have to do it, because now I've got that 2-week window to try to get that motorhome, and I've talked her down to $3,500, and right now I have $1,600, and that's if I don't pay my car insurance. Hi, Muscle Shell. So anyway, that's what's going on. They have diagnosed me with Bell's palsy. I'm hoping to, I'm going to call a friend of mine who had it, who is a health food nut and a health nut in general, and see if he has any suggestions of dietary or holistic medicine or anything that doesn't involve the use of a lot of drugs and steroids. But I felt bad that I just left everybody hanging this morning, so anyway, part of the reason I'm having the auction is to try to get the motorhome, and then now with this diagnosis of Bell's palsy, I don't know what's going to happen, so I don't understand. I try so hard to do a nice friendly channel where people can come and have fun and learn, and I try not to be nasty to people, and I don't know why I'm getting kicked in the butt at every angle. So if y'all could pray for me, that would be a big help. I said something today that sounded really weird to my sister. I said, I pray every day, but every day the answer seems to be no. I mean, I don't pray for horrible things. I just pray for like less pain and help tying my shoes. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go because I'm still pretty upset about this whole thing. No, I am not okay, Mud Swat. I wish I was. Okay, now here's the thing. People keep trying to throw that Johnson vaccine thing in as a reason for this. I have had this illness since September, before there was a Johnson vaccine. So they just been trying to guess what it was, but the vaccine was not involved. This disease already existed in my body before I ever got my vaccine, and I got my vaccine in February. So I'm sorry, but I'm not adding those two together. Because, like I said, I actually started first having this disease, some of you that have been on my channel for a long time will remember I started having problems with it when I was still in Georgia. Way, 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 way before there was a Johnson and Johnson vaccine. It started out with that growth that I had in my saliva gland, and then it moved into my ears, and so this has been around much longer than the vaccine. So I do not believe the two are related in any way. Right now, with all the crap that's going on, you guys are what are keeping me going. So, whoever said, don't worry about us, take care of yourself, you guys are how I take care of myself. I come on every day and have a little fun, but I don't know anything about this disease except that everything I'm reading about it is kind of scary. I mean, I'm glad we finally have a diagnosis, but the fact that they are giving me absolutely nothing for the pain. I have never been in as much pain as I was in last night. And I don't know if I can do another 2 or 3 nights like this while a bunch of arguing doctors decide if Susie can have 5 milligrams or 7.5 milligrams. So I am going to try to have my auction, and that's kind of helping me keep my mind off stuff because I'm getting things ready for it. So I posted the link to that channel, and that will be from 11 to 2 this Sunday, or as long as I last before I fall out of my chair. I do have some new stuff, and then I have some stuff that is not handmade, but well, it sort of is. It's upcycled. What I have done was I was given a box of broken jewelry, and of course after I went through it looking for the silver and all of that, I started taking the pieces of it and creating different things out of them. So something that may have started out as an earring became a necklace, or something that started out as earrings suddenly became charms on bracelets. So I'm just doing whatever I can do to try to keep my mind off of it and to work towards getting that motorhome situation. Imagine how many of you crazy people are going to meet me if I get a motorhome. I know I got one that only lives about 80 miles from me, so yeah. And then I've got some others that are up in Virginia, Pennsylvania. Found a cent in a drawer when I was packing. Probably found $2 worth of coins. Mikey, when I was packing, I found a coin from Jamaica in one of the drawers, and I was so tickled because that trip to Jamaica was the first time I had ever been outside the United States, and that was a coin that just came back in my pocket change. And all these years later, I found it in a little box in a drawer. and I knew exactly where it came from because I had no other Jamaican coins. I had a Jamaican stamp and a Jamaican coin together in a little glassine envelope. So I know how that is when you're moving and all of a sudden you start finding these coins and stuff. You know, well, where'd that come from? I found a Bahama dollar bill the other day. Yesterday I found a Canadian dollar bill, and I don't remember where this stuff came from at all, but it's now going into my collection. Um, Hi, Coin Happy Dude. I should go back up and say hi to everybody who has been so nice to come in and see me in my sickness. Death Logic is here. Archaeology Mikey, Lucky James Eller, Cynthia Swearengin. Oh, I want to go detecting. Archaeology Mikey, Del Brett. Oh, I was here. Uh, the Nightbot was here. Muscle Shell was here. Buzzswat was here. Coin Happy Dude 66 was here. Thank you guys so much for stopping in to see me. I'm going to do something I don't usually do. But I'm going to show you what my face looks like. Because this is was one of the clues to this doctor that I had Bell's palsy. So let me see if I can do this real quick. I'm not going to stay on the camera, but okay. Now, if you can see, one side of my mouth is hanging lower than the other. You see how it kind of, it's higher over here and it droops way down over here? That is one of the signs. That and this big, good, god-awful swelling right here. So, that's the issue. My niece came over and put my hair in a braid so I wouldn't have to mess with it too much. So it may not look pretty, but it is serving its function. But yeah, that's how swollen up my head is just from like the last 2 days. It's bad and it hurts. And I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. We gotta get this crap under control. Oh, I have ones from when I was in the hospital years ago, where my face looked way worse. I had gotten out and my head looked like a basketball with the one whole side of it was down about 2 inches. Yeah, see, this is just the beginning here. Del Brett said, so an RV could save you lots of money each month like rent. Correct. I have a place here that I can park the RV for free. All I have to do is pay my part of the electric. And it has the sanitary hookup is in place. So, and I have already been told I can park it there. So rather than paying rent in this apartment building that I absolutely hate, I could be out on the farm where I will be growing vegetables to sell at the farmer's market, and also have plenty of room to work on the things that I need to work on. All my tools are out there. So, and yes, I can have internet. My sister and I are going to hook up her. She doesn't have internet right now because the company she had was just so terrible. I told her, look, don't even pay those people. We'll get a different company. But I would probably be saving half my monthly income by being out there. And even though when I'm driving it, I'm using gas, it does have a tow bar on the back, and I have a tiny car, so I can tow my car with me and park the RV and then drive the little putt putt. So, yeah, when I lived in my RV before, I never ran out of cash. I had internet, I had, uh, you know, I had, what do you call it, Amazon Fire Stick, so, um, I had all the cable and stuff that I needed. I had room in there for my. I have detected part of that farm. It's a huge farm. I'm still working on it. It's a family property, so I have access to it indefinitely. Um, but yeah, I have detected part of the farm. Um, but yeah, I could probably save half my income by moving out there. And then I have another friend up in Michigan whose farm I can stay on in a very similar arrangement. The only time I really have any expenses is when I'm driving because they don't get particularly good gas mileage. But I will not be driving that as my primary vehicle. I will drive it to a place. I will park it. I will unhook my little car that gets 25 to 30 miles a gallon, and then I can putt around in that. So, yes, I did this once before when my mother passed away and her house had to be sold. I bought an old motorhome and fixed it up, and I had so much fun with that. And regretted that I sold it because I could put my entire jewelry business in it. I could roll up in some town that had a farmer's market on Thursday night and say, hey, look, uh, I'm just traveling, supporting myself, and they would let me pay for a table and set up, and I always made sure that everybody that bought from me got a business card and had a way to get a hold of me, so if they weren't happy. Handy Andy's pretty far out. What do you mean meet Handy Andy? Handy's my brother. I'm gonna meet Handy Andy. Might go see him, because I do want to go to Utah, but, but yeah, I need to go to Utah anyway. But, the first thing I want to do is go back to Michigan. I have some things I really want to take care of in Michigan that are related to the band that I work with. And then in the winter, I will probably shoot down to Florida. My brother, my other brother, my old brother is down there, so and of course I grew up there, so I know like 9 million places to metal detect and play some rock and roll. But this motorhome that I'm looking at now is considerably bigger than the one I had in the past. The one I had in the past was a 26 footer, and this one is a 34. So I have more room, and I can tow my car, and so I'm just gonna. She had started doing some interior work, some remodeling, and then just for whatever reason didn't finish it. But I'm real good at fabricating things, so it will not be an issue. People were amazed at what I had done with my old 76 Ford, so this one's a 92. It's not brand new, but uh, fortunately I spent over 20 years involved in auto racing. I'm pretty good with a wrench. And I have friends all over the country that are racers, so I can usually get stuff fixed up pretty easy. But I did not want anything that ran diesel. I only run gas. Yeah. But should I send Handy Andy a catnip banana? Abso-freaking-lutely. I would definitely do that, Mikey. I think his cats would just be absolutely thrilled. I don't know, though. It might be Andy that would be absolutely thrilled. He might be rolling around on his keyboard playing with that catnip banana. Oh, my goodness. So, anyway, I just wanted to let everybody know I didn't just fall off the earth, but I was fine yesterday morning, and I went out to my sister's farm, and I painted a sign that we're getting ready to use for the farmer's market, and I think maybe the fumes from the sign that I was painting, because I was using spray paint, I think maybe that set it off, but I was really sick, and it just kept getting worse and worse. My RV insurance, the last time I had an RV, I had an RV and a 5-liter Mustang. And I'm going to leave my stuff registered here in rural Virginia, where it's not too expensive. Well, when I had the Mustang and the RV, I was paying about $285 a month. And I had the extra towing package, because the one thing that will burn you is if you have an RV and it breaks down and you do not have the towing package on it, because they'll charge you $10 a mile to minimum to pull an RV to where you need it to be. But even with the insurance, I was still coming out ahead. One of my family members saw a chicken in the front seat of a car. Was that in Florida, Mikey? Because if it was, that does not surprise me one bit. I was raised in Florida. I have seen some of the craziest things in the world in Florida. You know, they make those jokes of Florida man. Well, I'm going to tell you, they need a whole separate section for Florida crazy woman. Because I have seen some of the craziest stuff happen in my lifetime. I actually have a friend who wants me to write a book about growing up in Florida before Disney. And actually after Disney too, but I moved to Florida. I was a little tiny girl. I think I was 3. And then my mother discovered, not yet, but I've got a 2-week reprieve, Warner. So I may still have it. It's still happening. Right now I'm trying to, I just spent a day and a half in the hospital, so right now I'm more focused on that. But anyway, when I was when I turned 5, my mother discovered that Florida in 1955, 56 did not have kindergarten in their public schools. And my mother made my dad pack up all our stuff, go back to Iowa for a year so that I could go to kindergarten at the same school that my other siblings had gone to. And so we went back to Iowa for a year. And like 3 days after school got out, we put all our stuff back in the car and went back to our house in Florida because we owned that house. We had bought that house. Uh, so that was kind of a pretty crazy thing. And then I started first grade in Florida, and the first day I was terrible. The first day I came home from school and I told my mother, I said, I'm not going back. And she said, why not? And I said, because those kids are stupid. And my mom said, it's not nice to call somebody stupid. She said, what do you mean they're stupid? I said, Mom, they can't read. You know, when I was in kindergarten in Iowa, I had already done all the Fun with Dick and Jane books, and I knew all my colors and my times, and you know, according to my mom, when I was 14 months old, I spoke in full sentences. So all of a sudden, I'm in this classroom with these kids that don't know their ABCs, they don't know their colors, they don't know their numbers, and I just I got straight A's, but I would always get a bad grade in conduct because I would finish my lesson in about 2 minutes, and then I'd be bored and I'd get up and start walking around the room and messing with stuff and, of course, getting in trouble. And I kind of did that my whole school career. But yes, I did get your address. I am going to try to wait until after I do my auction on Sunday before I send out packages. I just, that way I can get everything sent out in one group. And that's kind of the way I work. I only ship once or twice a month now because it was just too much trouble to go to the post office every day. Um, it just wasn't working out for me. I'm still real excited about my ring. I can't really show it right now, but Hey You made me a ring out of a 1988 clad quarter that I really like. It's awesome. Anyway, I just wanted to come on and let everybody know that they do finally have a diagnosis for what I have. Unfortunately, it's typical Susie to get some weird disease that they don't know a whole lot about. Uh, so I'm going to put the name of it in. What I have is Bell's palsy. And because I have a lot of uh, other things going on that are autoimmune related, they're really not quite sure what they're going to do with me. But it would have been nice if they had at least given me some medication to last me over the weekend until they figure out what they're going to do with me. Because by Sunday, a to get on the selling of a lot of the stuff that I have here, and I've got 2 weeks to come up with the other part of the money for the thing. So pretty much, unless I am on the slab on Sunday, I'm going to be doing my auction on my Oh Susie Q channel from 11 to 2 Eastern Daylight Time. And I think that is the proper link. So we will be doing that. Like I said, it's going to be kind of a mixed auction. It's going to be handcrafted items and some upcycled items. I was given 3 or 4 boxes of assorted jewelry pieces, parts, broken jewelry, that sort of thing, and I am creating whole new items out of those. And because I cannot definitively say what those are made from, most of those sell pretty cheap. I've got a big pile of them that I need to go through that are earrings that I got to check to see if they might possibly be sterling. But anyway, I'm gonna probably not be on. I don't think I'm doing a show tomorrow morning or Sunday morning, but I am gonna try to get my auction in, and hopefully on Monday I will be able to get some medication going to control whatever this mess is. Can't find your pain systems in Bell's palsy. What do you mean you can't find my pain systems in Bell's palsy? Every one of them is in there. It was like I read my life story. I'll send it to you, Werner, because it's too hard for me to pull it up. But the 9 main symptoms, I found this one. See if I can pull it. Oh, I like that. The page says 9 main systems, and then I pull the page up and it says 14 main. So I guess they added some special ones just for me. Oh my goodness. That's too funny. The first one, and I do have this, and I've been hiding it. In fact, the other day I even did a show where my hand was over my face. The effects of Bell's palsy cause the face to droop on one side. Temporary or permanent weakness in your facial muscles result in a one-sided smile and a lazy eye. And I've been complaining about this eye thing. Bell's palsy develops due to pressure placed on the 7th cranial nerve that runs between the brain and the face by a small opening in the skull. When the cranial nerve becomes inflamed, it presses against the gap and wears away the protective sheath covering the nerve. As the disorder progresses, oops, I went too far. Sorry, I'm on my laptop and I'm not real used to it. Anyway, here's one of them is dry eye syndrome and burning in my eyes, which I have complained about that one, about the throbbing and burning in my eyes. And then it gets into this thing with the information placed on the Cranial nerve may spread to nerves and muscles in the ocular system, and I've been having a lot of problems. Remember, there was like 3-4 weeks I couldn't come on because I couldn't focus my eyes. Development of headaches and migraines. Uh, Corneal abrasions. Uh, yeah, they told me not to wear my contacts. Not that I wear them anymore anyway, but because they're a pain in the butt. But then there's a whole separate section in here where it talks about the pain in the tube in your ear, and putting pressure on your jaw in a manner similar to EMA, which is one of the things they originally told me I had. So, yeah, we went down this list, and he actually showed me the images, and that was the first. Was none of these doctors have been showing me images of any of these things to show me this is where this is happening and this is where that is happening. And this man actually brought the images in. He made me wait. You know, he said, just lay down. I'm going to wait for the images to be processed, which was fine with me because I needed a nap. Blurred vision. I'm trying to find the one where it gets to the part about the ears, because yeah, the tinnitus in my ears. That's been another one. It's like I'm going through these 14, and I've got like 13 of them so far, and badly. Uh, Change in taste. That was one that I didn't think I had until I opened a bottle to drink something, and it tasted funny to me, and the bottle was new. Twitching facial muscles. I've been at these a lot of times. I have not been coming on camera. I just been putting Susie Smart up there, or you know, a picture of something, because I didn't really want to be up there with my face spazzing around. Yeah, there you go. Pain around the jaw or in or behind your ear on the affected area. That has been one of my main ones. You guys have heard me complain so much, and they thought I had an ear infection and sinus infection and all these different things, and that's not what it is. And because this man took so much time, yeah, like here's the one. One of the initial symptoms is an aching sensation behind the ear. Individuals describe the ache as a slow, progressive, throbbing pain that intensifies over a period of 48 to 72 hours. The ache can persist for 2 to 3 days before any other symptoms of the palsy occur. Shortly after that, individuals may begin to feature facial weakness and further onsets of other symptoms. And see, that's what mine started out with, was the ear the ear pain, and it just kept getting worse, and until finally I went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor because it was starting to hurt my jaw then. It says the 12 pairs of nerves. Oops, I accidentally skipped a page. Anyway, then there's one about adult speech impairment, slurred or slurred speech, hoarse voice, sutured speech, uh, lack of clarity. Yeah, I mean, when he showed me this and he was showing me the actual points where things were not where they were supposed to be, we seriously have to find a neurologist who will be available quickly so that I don't have to suffer too much. Here's another one: loss of feeling in one side of face. Bell's palsy primarily affects the seventh cranial nerve, but inflammation may spread to the other facial nerves as well, resulting in future complications. It is common for people suffering from Bell's to experience numbness or loss of feeling. Well, I have had that for quite a while, and I thought it was because of some bad dental work. Uh, Individuals describe this feeling as a lack of touch sensation. They are aware if someone or something touches their face, they're just unable to feel it. Uh, and so some of these nerves can be fixed pretty easily, but there are some that can cause facial paralysis. That does not sound like fun to me at all. Difficulty eating and drinking. Since they have no control over facial muscles on one side of the face, they might find it difficult to do. And that's another one that I've been dealing with. So I'm going down all these items, and I'm really not finding any that do not appeal to me, with the possible exception of things tasting right. I haven't really noticed that yet too much. Sensitivity to sound. That's another one because my ears were hurting so bad. Uh, but anyway, it goes on and on and on, and most of it appears to appeal to me and my condition. So I So anyway, I guess everybody's probably gone now. Um, I don't know yet if they can help me. They're going to have to do a lot of neurological scans to see where the damage is. And I hope I have a speaker. Yep, sort of. But at least we have a starting point. We had no starting point. They were just guessing. But now we've got someone who actually bothered to do the tests that were required to isolate the disease. Hi, Rocky Mountain Bear and P.E. Stacker. We're just in here talking about how sick I found out I am. I'm not going to let it kick me in the butt. Anybody that has been watching me since I started doing my stream a little over a year ago knows that I have fought tooth and nail against every ailment and disability that they stick on my medical chart. And this is just another one. Tried to drop a raid link, don't know who followed. Well, thank you, Big Country. I think a few people did. I see Rocky Mountain Bear, P.E. Stacker. So I think those guys followed you over. But I appreciate very much. Yeah, I am a fighter. That's one thing. You might hear me, go into a temporary meltdown where I start crying or something, but then the next day I'm back going, hey, all right, all I did was get my eyes cleaned out there, so now I gotta get up off my butt and just keep plugging away at it. My family grew up poor, and we kind of had to fight for whatever we had. So, well, Charles, I appreciate you coming in. I know you're right in the middle of that move out to Oklahoma, and so I always appreciate seeing you. Thanks for sending me your Oklahoma address so I can send your stuff out there. Again, I'm going to post the address for my crazy little auction. It is not a coin auction, although I can't guarantee that there won't be any coins in it. It is primarily a handcrafted stuff that I make auction that I'm gonna do Sunday. Try to raise some money. I want that motorhome, and I've got a 2-week reprieve on it. She's decided that she couldn't move it and do what she needed to do with it, so she's going up to Chicago for a couple weeks, doing what she needs to do up there to get established, and then coming back down to empty the motorhome. And so at that point, that gives me 2 more weeks to get the money together. So I gotta bust my behind on that. So that's part of why I'm having this auction. It's part handmade stuff. It's part redesigned stuff. And who knows what's going to show up in there. Might be some items that are just in my my box of things that I've been trying to sell on eBay that haven't moved. A little bit of everything. It's from 11 to 2 Eastern Daylight Time Sunday on my other channel that I just posted the link to. So you might want to run over there and subscribe to that channel and hit the notification to remind you. It's not a big channel. I think there's 70 people on it, so sometimes folks get some pretty good deals just because there's not that many people. It's not a channel that I really put a lot of time into. I need to, but I just haven't. Once I started getting sick, it cut into a lot of stuff that I was planning on doing. But yeah, I'm really excited that I still have a 2-week opportunity to raise the rest of the money for that motorhome, and that I already have a place to park it here that won't cost me anything except what power I use, and I will probably run the generator so that I don't have to pay Appalachian Power or anything, because they suck. They are such a ripoff, because they know these poor people out here in the mountains have no choice, and they just charge them whatever the heck they want. It's horrible. And plus, I get out on the farm. I have all my tools out there. I can do my little modifications that I want to do to the home. Plus, my sister and I got our vegetable gardens getting ready to go in, so we can sell veggies at the farmer's market again this year. So I think that would be a better place for me to be than I'm living in this apartment complex that frankly is just not suited to me. Most of the people are at least 80, and I'm in my 60s. I feel like I'm living in a motel. There's no patios or anything like that. You just open the door and you're in the hallway. And then, yeah, Warner, in this area, there is only one power supplier. It's a monopoly. You have to use them or install your own solar or whatever. Yeah, it's not a good setup. So, and they charge outrageous amounts of money that, there are so many people that live out here in these mountains who have no power at all because they simply cannot afford it. I noticed one day we have an Amish and Mennonite store up the road, and one of the most popular items to buy at the Amish store are their gas lamps, because people just cannot afford the outrageous electric here, so they're, stepping back to old school. So I did that for a while in my other motorhome. When my generator quit working, I had battery powered LED lights, and I made it work. I kind of wish that I had not sold that motorhome, but I did because I had an idea that fell through. But I got to get a hold of the guy that bought it and see if he ever did what he was going to do with it. My friend Charlie bought it, and he was going to make a food truck out of it. I don't know that he ever did, but anyway, that was a lot older motorhome than this one and needed far more work than this one. Plus, I have family here that can help me, and like I said, I am a really, really good fabricator. I can make stuff. Even at my age, I can make stuff. I keep trying to find these pictures. I wish I knew how to send pictures. Maybe I can do this. Let me try this here. Just for the heck of it. Okay, one. That's a good one. Let me see if I can send it to my messenger. No, maybe not my messenger. Maybe my email. And then pull it up on the screen. This is one of the last projects that I did with my friend Tommy. It's actually the interior of a race car hauler. Yeah, I wanted a Ford. The first one I was looking at was a Ford. The one that the guy sold out from under me. But this one's a Chevy, and I'm pretty familiar with Chevys too, so as long as I don't get into some crazy odd thing that I don't know how to work on, then I'm good. And I have all my tools, and the whole time I drove around in that old beat up Ford, I never had any issues with it, except that I had to change a battery cable that was just old. I did reseal the roof on it and put a set of brand new tires on it. Other than that, I didn't have much of any problems with that 30-plus-year-old vehicle. It was a little smaller than I wanted, but it did what I needed to do, so. Because what happened was when my mom died, her house had to be sold, and I had been staying with her, taking care of her, so I had to have somewhere to live. And so I bought this motorhome and fixed it up, and I drove it from, first I drove it from Florida to Virginia, and then I went to around North Carolina a little bit. I went to Ohio, West Virginia, Indiana, Michigan, and I stayed in Michigan for quite a while on my friend's farm. And then I went back down to Florida when the weather got nasty. And because I had to take care of some stuff related to my mom's estate. And then I ended up selling it and kind of wished I hadn't. But because I enjoyed being able to travel around and, do jewelry shows and detecting and play some music here and there, and so I liked it. What I'm doing right now is I've lost my password to an account. Okay, let's see if I can get in here now. because I think this is where I sent, well, I thought I sent this picture. I guess not. Anyway, I was going to show you this picture of some fabrication that I did, but I'm going to make a video in a few days in memory of my friend Tommy, whose birthday was April the 21st. Oh, my stuff doesn't take that much room. So, I had plenty of room in my motorhome, my little motorhome. I had all my jewelry supplies, including two 10 by 10 event tents, all room for all TV, and could still easily walk around in the motorhome. So, oh, and one kitty cat. I also had a kitty cat that lived in there. She was getting old, and she traveled around with me until she passed away. And she is buried right up the road here at my sister's farm, at the cat farm. I even had uh, set up my sewing machine because I also sew costumes for the band, at least for Question Mark. Most of the band doesn't wear anything but t-shirts and jeans, but Q, he always has to be fully attired in his half American, half Mexican, wild and crazy clothes, and yeah, I was making clothes in there, so I so I can do anything I need to do in there to make my money. Uh, and if I get tired of some place, I can just move down the road. So that's what's going to happen. And right now, what's going to happen is my niece brought me over something to heat up in the microwave, and she built me this. I have this wonderful little nest here in my bed where I have my coin rolling stuff, and so I'm gonna I can watch TV tonight and just roll up some of these coins and get them cashed in. It doesn't take too much energy. So, yeah, I've still got my money that Muscle Shell gave me to go see my brother, and I am counting that as part of the RV money, because the first trip that the RV will take will probably be to my brother's in Florida. So that's just, investment on that trip. And I already talked to him about that. I can't park my big motorhome at his house, but he told me where I can park, so it's all good. And then I wish I was trying to be responsible. So when I got my stimulus check, I paid off 3 bills. And I did that because I've got that crazy divorce thing going on that cut $300 a month out of my income. So I thought, okay, if I can get 3 bills off my plate, that'll get me back down where I can live under the $800. Well, I found out yesterday that the judge down in Florida took a look at my request for uh, temporary support since he stopped sending the money that he claims he is sending. And they have sent that up to a mediator. And I sent an email today to the judge requesting that they expedite that because it kind of sucked a big hole out of my income, and he is not below poverty level. What he did was make me under poverty level. So hopefully next week that's going to get mediated, and he's going to have to start sending me that $300 a month again, which would be a big help. But anyway, I make some really cool jewelry and stuff. Yep, Susie Smart. Susie Smart. She is smart. Sometimes too damn smart. Gets herself in trouble. But anyway, I make a lot of cool things, so come to the auction on Sunday on my other channel. You might see something over there that my prices are reasonable. If you need references, one of my biggest jewelry fans is oh heck, my keyboard's locked up. Oh, come on, don't do this. There, it finally went. Where was I before I was so rudely interrupted? Oh yeah, I remember. I used to have a couple of fans. One of them doesn't buy from me anymore because he thinks I stink. He thinks I have cooties now or something anyway. But I used to sell a lot of stuff to Kellen L., but Kellen is mad at me and I still do not know why. My friend out of Flint and I don't know why I can't remember his name, because he changed it. That's why, because I got so used to him being Randy McCormick, and now it's something Benji. But he buys a lot of my jewelry. He has mass quantities of females in his family. Do I have a store? No. I had one on Facebook for a while, but it has not been updated. The YouTube channel is the most updated. Yeah, go to the YouTube channel and you can see some of the stuff that I sell. Over here, Warner, if you do not pay and the court orders you to pay, they do insidious little things like take your driver's license away from you. And because he listed on the petition for divorce that he was sending me this money, but then actually did not send it, he falsified court records. And they do not like that when you lie on your court papers. So, uh, I asked her, I said, well, what happens if he does not pay after he's ordered to pay? And she said, well, we can arrest him for falsifying government records. We can arrest him for fraud. We can take his driver's license away. There was a number of things that she listed that could happen to him for that little thing, and the fact that I am still technically his wife, but he listed me as a creditor. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, there's some of that link that I am posting. That is Oh Susie Q. And that's where the auction will be on Sunday. And the stuff that's up there are just random samplings. I have all sorts of different items. Oops, I can't spell today. I'm trying. I am having a little problem with my eyes. Which is part of this Bell's palsy thing. And I've had it once before where it was bad like this, and I wasn't online for 3 weeks that time, but I had no idea what was causing it. Now I know what's causing it. Well, I was shocked when I found out. Predator? Oh, that's the Predator. I was shocked to find out that they passed laws in some of the states in the United States that if you do not pay your child support, they will take your driver's license away from you. And I thought that was a little odd because if you're trying to get somebody to pay their child support and then you take their driver's license away, how are they going to go to work to earn the money to pay the child support? It's a law, but I don't think it's one of the greatest laws. uh, yeah, I wish I was feeling better. The longer I talk to you guys, the less I think about how much pain it is. So that's why I have managed to stay on here for an hour and a half. But, oh, Big Country setting up new cameras for his show. So, anyway, my niece came earlier and set me up with a bunch of things I can work on. And then I have something in the microwave because I'm not real steady to the point where I actually went and got my walker. I don't use my walker, but I have it in the apartment right now because I'm not motoring very well with this. But hopefully next week, like I said, I've got 3 ladies working on right now just trying to get me some medication and get me some answers on how we're going to treat this thing. It's not a disease that I've heard of a lot. In fact, they say only 200,000 people in America have it, so it's not a particularly uh, well known. You know, I have a lot of those diseases that only like 10% of the population or less have, so why would this surprise me? Hi, Hoover's Corgis, how are you? I just put all the dogs and the cats and dogs back in their boxes today. I have new games that if I can ever get healthy enough to play, I have created some new games that people like Big Country are just gonna love. I got different critters now. I don't just have cats and dogs. I got gators and spiders and lions and tigers and gorillas and I got all kinds of funny games I'm making up now. So, anyway, people, if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate if you would do so and make a comment because if you don't make a comment and you just subscribe, the YouTube algorithm says you're not real. I know you're real, you know you're real, but Mr. Algorithm is just an a-hole and he takes my subscriptions away faster than I can get them. I'm really getting tired of that. I have been stuck between 7 and 800 for months now. Really, 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 I'm over them doing that. So is Telephone gone now? Is he gone back to his abode? I thought that was so cool that you guys got to visit. See, that's one of the things I'm going to enjoy if I get this motorhome is there are people that I would love to go metal detecting with and love to go fishing with, and I will be able to do that. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun to get out and do something besides sit here in hillbilly hell. And I only call it that because it's this specific place. It's not. I have no problem with hillbillies. I have a problem with this apartment complex. It sucks. My poor nephew came to drop off a prescription for me one day, and truthfully, I don't think it was really in his plan to see Granny Gopher down the hall wandering around in her nightie. We unfortunately have people here that think that they're in the old folks home, and this is not an old folks home. This is an apartment complex. And really, really, really not interested in seeing her wandering around in her night clothes. And I got in trouble because I went and complained about that. But come on, people. How long does it take to put your clothes on? Things like that, I just don't get. Yeah, I know we're all getting tired of being cooped up. He's en route home with his family. Yeah, I I don't like being cooped up anyway. I'm one of those people. I usually move about every 4 or 5 years just because I gotta, I gotta do something new. Yeah, exactly, Hoovers. I mean, this lady apparently, judging by the look on this young man's face, was pretty much showing everything to the world, and her everything is pretty old. I don't think he was impressed. I think he was revolted. So they did finally have to put a message up in the laundry room that says, when you leave your apartment, please make sure that your body parts are covered, uh, that you have on a robe or something, and that the gentlemen put on a shirt. If they're going to wander around in their jammy pants, they need to at least have on a shirt. I understand that, Warner, but you can't have half naked 85-year-old ladies wandering around the halls when people that live here have their little grandchildren that come by to visit. You know, my lady that lives across from me, her grandkids come often, and they're like 10, 12, 14. My nephews are, my nephew is 9 or 10. Um, his sister is 16, and their brother just turned 18, and he's the one that got the full frontal view, and was not impressed. So I'm not comfortable living that way. I just am not. So I after I had been here about a month, I already knew I wasn't re-signing another lease. And then I have the neighbor that complains if I burp at 5 minutes after 10. Apparently, Sunday night he filed a noise complaint against us for the live stream. Now, I was in a completely different room that was well over 15 feet away from his wall, and I ended the stream at 5 minutes after 10. So I don't know what noise he thought he was hearing, because as soon as I ended that stream, I went to bed. I did ask some people to go back and listen to that stream, and they said, well, maybe he heard the cards rattling in the box. But, like I said, there were 2 walls and over 15 feet between that box and his wall. What is this guy doing? Is he like outside my door with a glass on a string or something? I don't know, but I'm over it. Get a garden hose. Yeah, big country. That's how it works. That's how it works. Well, anyway, if you want to go look up what they diagnosed me with, there's the name of it, and I am gonna have to, like, I really overdid it and wore myself down, so I am gonna have to get some rest, and I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna go get my food that my niece made for me to put in the microwave, and then I'm gonna turn on some TV until 9:59, and even that TV is not up against the wall that's his apartment. It's in the center of my apartment, up against a completely different wall. But he bitches about everything. So at 9:59, I turn the sound down to 9 out of a scale of 100, and turn on my closed caption. And he still bitches, so at this point, let him bitch. I just don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. Yep, I've been online 100 minutes, so I'm going to go eat and rest stress is a really bad thing for this disease, and I have been under quite a bit of stress ever since right before that car wreck. When I got the car wreck, and then the next day I got the divorce papers. I've been pretty stressed ever since then. Yep, we need a GoFundMe for the motorhome. And you know what's really funny? I got to tell you this. When my mom died and I got that cheap motorhome, um, that was purchased with a partially my money and partially with a GoFundMe. And I'm going to tell you, because this is one of my favorite bands, and back when, it was like I wasn't going to have a place to live. So there's a band from Tampa, Florida called the Outlaws, and I have been a fan of the Outlaws since I was a 14-year-old kid. And they helped me put up a GoFundMe to buy the last motorhome that I had. So, it sounds a little far-fetched to say GoFundMe for a motorhome, but that's actually how I got my home, was because of them. Not because they put all the money in, but because they publicized it, said, hey, look, this is a long-time fan, she needs a place to live. And so I would like to do one, but I have over the last several years done 4 or 5 GoFundMes, and people got on my case and said, you're always asking for money. So if I can get somebody else to do the GoFundMe, I would be up for that, but I don't know if I want to do one on my own. I might talk to my niece or my sister or something. I did do one when my car got messed up. But yeah, I've had people jump on me about it, and that was my response. Hoover's was, if you don't ask, you don't get. Oh, honey, I could never. This guy is probably like Flava Flav. He's probably got a big freaking clock hanging around his neck, and as soon as it hits 10 o'clock at night, he's writing up his notice. He's just a freaking nut job. Curiosity Incorporated may GoFundMe for Hands, the Viking, and it brought enough for the house. Yeah, see, I'm not a big channel. If a big channel, and see, that was what happened with the Outlaws. They had, thousands and thousands and thousands of fans. So by it coming through their channel, it didn't take me long to get the money to buy the one that I was trying to get. So, and the tires to put on it. So, I don't know. It's an idea, and I will probably visit that idea tomorrow while I'm thinking things through. Oh, there goes the thing with the eyes again. Alright, I'm gonna have to go because my eyes are blurring and I can't read what's being posted. If I had all this extra money laying around, I'd be able to pay the other guys to shut the troublemakers up for you. Yeah, I do need to refresh my old connections. I've really been slack. A lot of I've just been too sick, to do anything. But Yeah, I've got people around here that can do anything on that. My on that motorhome. My brother-in-law's cousin, he can fix anything. You know, he's an electrician. He's a plumber. He can fix anything. So, uh, I'm not worried about getting the thing running. I just want to get it. Just want to get it. And to do that, I got to get rid of a lot of the stuff. My niece and we're having a four-family yard sale the first weekend in May, and a lot of stuff is gonna be departing at that time, and then some other things will just be going out to the farm, and that way I can get rid of the $79 a month storage that I have. So, anyway, if I feel better in the morning, we'll do It Was the News. Um, this best thing I can tell you is just check around 8 a.m. and if I'm on, I'm on. And if I'm not, y'all know I slept in. But I'm, I'm just really, really tired and a little bit apprehensive about this Bell's palsy thing. Like I said, I don't know a lot about it, but I guess I'm going to be learning in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. All right. I will see everybody tomorrow, hopefully. If you don't see me, don't worry. It just means that I'm either listing things on long now. Really appreciate me, buddy. I'll see you later. I'll love you.